Hello, my name is Chi Din, and I'm with Avignon Realty Coaching and Training. And today I will go over the promulgated by the Texas Real Estate Commission tract short sale addendum. And to start with, addendum to contract concerning the property at the street address and city will go on this line. Paragraph A, this contract involves a short sale of the property. As used in this addendum, short sale means that there's two paragraphs here, 1 and 2. Seller's net proceeds at closing would be insufficient to pay the balance of seller's mortgage loan. And seller requires the consent of the lien holder to sell the property pursuant to this contract and the lien holder's agreement to accept seller's net proceeds in full satisfaction of seller's liability under the mortgage loan and provide seller an executed release of lien against the property in a recordable format. That's paragraph A. Paragraph B, as used in this addendum, seller's net proceeds means the sales price less seller's expenses under paragraph 12 of the contract and the seller's obligation to pay any brokerage fees. Paragraph C, the contract to this addendum is attached. It's binding upon execution by the parties, and the earnest money and the option fee must be paid as provided in the contract. And the contract is contingent on the satisfaction of seller's requirements under paragraph A2 of this addendum, lien holder's consent and agreement. And seller shall apply promptly for and make every reasonable effort to obtain lien holder's consent and agreement, and shall furnish all information and documents required by the lien holder. Except as provided by this addendum, neither party is required to perform under the contract while it is contingent upon obtaining lender's consent and agreement. Paragraph D, if the seller does not notify the buyer that seller has obtained lien holder consent and agreement on or before this date, this contract terminates and the earnest money will be refunded to buyer. Seller must notify buyer immediately of lien holder's consent and agreement is obtained. For purposes of performance, the effective date of the contract changes to the date seller provides buyer notice of the lien holder's consent and agreement, amended effective date. Paragraph E, this contract will terminate and the earnest money will be refunded to buyer if the lien holder refuses or withdraws its consent and agreement prior to closing and funding. Seller shall promptly notify buyer of any lien holder's refusal to provide or withdrawal of a lien holder's consent and agreement. F, if buyer has the unrestricted right to terminate this contract and the time for giving notice of termination begins at the effective date of the contract, continues after the amended effective date, and ends upon the expiration of buyer's unrestricted right to terminate contract under paragraph 23. G, for the purpose of this addendum, time is the essence. Strict compliance with the times for performance stated in this addendum is required. Paragraph H, seller authorizes any lien holder to furnish to buyer or buyer's representative information relating to the status of the request for a lien holder's consent and agreement. I, if there is more than one lien holder or loan secured by the property, this addendum applies to each lien holder. Then now you have the buyer and the seller sign here. Those are the conditions of the short sale addendum. If you have any questions, I invite you to speak to your mentor or broker to get those questions answered. Thank you.